Have you ever wondered how I edit my photos? On today's episode, I'll be showing you guys the basics of how I edit my photos on Photoshop. So first and first, this was an image I shot for Yemi Black, a friend of mine in London. I think we shot this for a album launch. So I'll be showing you guys how I'm going to process this image. So these are just the basics of what I do in Photoshop. And basically I use Lightroom, Camera Raw, and Capture One. So today I'll just be showing you the basics on Photoshop. Then maybe my other videos, you can be watching them. You can see the way I edit on Capture One, how I edit on Lightroom, and the rest. So I don't use Adobe Pro. Adobe Pro give me a funny feel. I don't basically work with. You can see we have Adobe Color, Adobe Monochrome, Adobe Landscape, Adobe Neutral, Adobe Portrait. I don't use any of that. So I basically just use camera matching. So what camera matching does is it helps me more or less like color grading the image or fine-tuning the image to my own good taste. So I use either portraits or standard. And when I shoot like a dark person or close to a dark person, I basically use standard because portrait also come with reds. Standard does not come with red. So I basically, if I'm shooting like probably let me say a fair person or a dark person, I use like standard, but when I'm shooting like a very dark person, I use portrait. So for her, she's a bit in between dark and fair. I will just say her color is caramel. So I'll be using basically portraits. Then I double click. Then, so for me also, another good thing I do is this. As a photographer, I believe you should shoot well on camera, like very well. Your exposure should be good, the balancing, your highlights, your shadow, everything should come very well. And the concept behind this image is just for an album launch. You can see the image. I think the title of the image is the book cover is Awaken the Voice Within. Yes, you can check it on your Booktionary or stationaries to check it. So continue on my camera roll, then I just come to my exposure. But all of this is already perfect, so I'm not doing too much. But one thing again I do very well is calibration. You can see my calibration. I use version 6 current. The other version, but I use version 6 current. And I just come to my blue primary and I push my saturation. What that does is it helps me pops my image in a very nice way. And I just open the image on Photoshop. Then when I open the image on Photoshop, the next thing I do is I check my contrast. If my contrast is very good, I use level to contrast. So under levels, I have presets under my levels, and I can come to increase contrast. Can you see it? But if it's too much, then I desaturate, or I come to my opacity and reduce it, not desaturate basically. Sorry for that. Then that's perfect. So this is just my basic Photoshop edits. On my other videos, you'll be seeing my other edits, Evoto, Capture One, Lightroom, how I create my presets and the rest. And if you want to see other videos like this, do where to comment, like, share with friends and family. And if you know anyone that wants to upgrade as you can as well share. Thank you. See you on the next one.